John Oakes here with HANKSTERS Motors, bringing to you our newest installment to our inventory. I have great pleasure going over this car with you. This is a 1967 Pontiac Gto, and yes, it is a real GTO, a real 242 VIN code car. Now this car is a true original survivor car. Now you will notice it's got an awful lot of new components on it underneath here, but with the exception of a few things, and there's reasons for that, and as we get to those I'll go over those reasons. But starting here at the back, in between the frame rails you have this big gigantic fuel tank here, and again for one reason only, with a big motor you got to have lots of fuel to power that thing down the road and keep it going. We have all brand new exhaust, the whole way from the exhaust manifolds all the way back to two brand new accelerator turbo mufflers into the tailpipes, into the chrome exhaust extensions on the back here. As we move forward a little bit, we've got the original rear end here. This is a 12-bolt safety track rear end. That's what this car came with. And you can see that various components of this car the whole way up through, they're going to be marked off just like they would have been from the factory. So you'll see various markings and with different color paint sticks and so forth, just to give it that kind of that concours type look from the factory there. As far as out at the ends of your rear end here, you do have drum brakes. You also have new shocks, new springs, and the springs have the labels on them, as you'll see with some of the other components also. You also have, as far as your control arms here for the rear end, those are boxed just to give it that little bit of extra strength. And again, we are riding on original 14-inch factory rally wheels, and wrapped on those wheels we have BF Goodrich Silvertown radial rubber. It's got the red line tire on the outside to give it that old bias ply tire look, but with the modern radial feel so that you can actually drive it. All right, now we're back here underneath the center of the car. Again, you see your drive shaft coming from the rear end. It's all painted up nice. It's got the green mark around that drive shaft. Again, everything just looks all new under here. Now here's where I said about the exceptions. As far as the floor goes, now there's no issues whatsoever with them. There's no holes. But what you will see before anybody asks about this is you'll see several areas on the floor where undercoating has chipped away or fallen off of the car. That underneath the undercoating is the original factory paint. So we did not want to put any new undercoating and cover anything up, and people will call and say, is there any issues under that undercoating? No, there's no issues. It's just we want to show that this is factory undercoating and the factory paint that is showing through where some of that undercoating has chipped away. Now the rockers, the frame rails, everything like that, that's all in excellent shape. You've got the emergency brake cables hung here and run all the way to the back. Brake lines, fuel lines, those are all in good condition also. We move a little further forward here. You've got the transmission cross member here, all excellent condition as well. And as far as the transmission, this would have been the original transmission. This was the Turbo Hydromatic 400 automatic transmission there, and that's what these cars came with. And again, we just move forward. That transmission's made it up to the correct numbers matching 400 Pontiac motor, and that's a YS block. So if you look that all up, that was 67 only. I believe it was a 335 horse. It's got all the correct heads, everything. So it's all numbers match, and everything is just painted up just like it would have been from the factory. So this car looks just like you would have bought it right off the showroom floor back in 1967. And finally, we're underneath the front end of the GTO here. Again, just finishing up, going over some things here. Like I said, all the components underneath here for the most part are all new. Again, you can see the sway bar here. You see the tags on all of that stuff signifying that that stuff was all new. They have stuff like the brake rotor covers and so forth. They have those labeled, just like they have a lot of the stuff under the hood labeled too that we'll show you when we get to that point. But this does have front disc brakes. It is a power brake car, power steering as well. Again, you see the sway bar, all the bushings, as far as the suspension goes, all the rubber stoppers, your tie rod ends, your ball joints, all the little rubber boots. Everything is in excellent condition on this car. Again, front springs new. They have little tags, little labels on those to signify that. Again, just everything's just put together so nice on this car. We're now outside with our 67 GTO here. Just go over the outside here, the exterior of the car. This is the correct color. It's the C code, which is the Cameo Ivory. This thing is just beautiful. It's got the black pinstripes the whole way down the sides. This does have the correct steel hood here on it as well. All the glass is in excellent condition on this car. All the trim, all the moldings, everything like that. That's all in excellent condition. Black vinyl top. You don't see any bubbles or nothing underneath this car. It's just as nice as can be. You've got the chrome front rear bumpers. You've also got this the cladding down here along the rocker the whole way back, clear back the quarter panel of the car. It's that GTO 6.5 liter badging and cladding that they have on here. Again, this does have the correct 14-inch rally wheels on it, complete with centers and the trim rings around it, and mounted on those are the BF Goodrich Silvertown radial tires. Now those are the same size the whole way around, and if I'm not mistaken, those are 215/70 R14s. Just moving back here a little further now, we get to the door. This has the driver's side remote mirror, so you can adjust it from inside your door there. And we'll go ahead and we'll open up the door now. Now on the inside, everything's just as nice as on the outside and the underside of this car. This has the correct black factory vinyl interior on it. Everything's all black in here. We do have a wood grain wheel. We've got some wood grain trim on the dash, as well as on that factory automatic center console down there. We've got power windows on this car. So we've got adjustable from the driver's side door. You've got driver, passenger side doors both, and your quarter windows on both sides as well. This has the Rally gauge package in it. It does have the factory in-dash tack, but it looks as though they did add a Pontiac tack on the center console as well. Factory AM radio in this car also. Again, all the GTO badging and the GTO 6.5 liter badging on the inside of this car. Everything just immaculate. The weather stripping, seals, the little door bumps, the edge guards also, all in excellent condition on this car. You even have a set of Pontiac floor mats in here to go along with it. We'll go ahead and shut that door. And we'll just working our way back. Again, not too much more to go over here. Again, that vinyl top is just in excellent condition. All the trim around it, across the back window, everything is just excellent condition. The wheel well edge molding here also in good condition. And you'll also see these red, it's kind of like an inner fender liner there to help protect that. So, and those are just, you can just take the screws out and pull those down out if you ever wanted to, but it's a nice little feature there to help protect those inner fenders. And again, the GTO badging on the rear quarter panel here, the rear bumpers all chromed up real nice. Now we're here at the back of the GTO. Again, that beautiful chrome bumper there, all the trim around all the tail lights and the moldings around the trunk lid and the rear tail panel, all in excellent condition. Got the GTO emblem up here on the trunk lid itself. Your gaps and your elevation the whole way around that trunk, just about as nice as you could ask for on a 67 GTO. I'm going to go ahead and pop the trunk open now, take a look inside. And inside you'll see first on the bottom side of the trunk lid, again painted same color as the car, that's that Cameo Ivory paint. You have the floor mat in the trunk here, along with the spare tire cover, and this does have the correct size spare tire and jack assembly with it. You'll also notice there is a like a milk crate in here with all kinds of brochures, literature, and so forth that comes with this car. A lot of it is documentation for the car, the PHS documentation. We do have the original Protecto plate for the car as well. That comes with it. Just everything's nice in here. The trunk floor is finished off in the correct gray and white spatter trunk paint, just as it would have been from the factory. The seals, weather stripping on this car also for the trunk is all in excellent condition. And you also have, I'm not sure if you can see this in the camera, but you have a trunk light also in here as well, and that is functioning. Over here we have a power antenna, and that works with the radio, so everything's good back here. Now we're on the passenger side of the car. Again, not a whole lot more to go over here other than what we did on the driver's side. Again, you've got the GTO badging, you've got the black pinstripes that go all the way from back to front on this side, that chrome rear bumper we talked about, the wheel well edge molding there, as well as the cladding that goes down the rocker panel with that GTO 6.5 liter badging on it, those 14-inch rally wheels, the BF Goodrich Silvertown radials with that red line to give it that classic look. And again, they put these on the cars. They do make these now. I know Coker Tires, one company that makes them, but it's just to give it the classic look, but you have the performance of a radial tire instead of using a bias ply tire. We'll go ahead and open the door up. Again, you'll see on this car, we have laid out on here the window sticker, the build sheet, the broadcast sheet for it. That stuff, it'll all be included with all that literature that comes with the car. Also, again, on this side, we've got that door edge molding. We've got the little rubber bump stops on the door. The weather stripping and the seals are all in excellent condition as well. Again, door panels, seat covers, the carpeting, the headliner, no rips, tears, dash, no cracking at all on this thing. It's just a beautiful car. Again, it's got those power windows. Now, also one thing you won't be able to see, but there's a light up in here. They call it the roof rail reading light. That is in here, and that is functional. Again, this was just a very highly optioned GTO whenever it was ordered from the factory. So we'll go ahead and shut this up. Door closes nice and easy. Just as on the other side, this side, the door gaps and elevations are all good. As we work our way to the front, again, we've already mentioned those inner fender liners that help protect it. The door or the gaps and elevations on the hood, all very good. Your trim around the windshield, all of that stuff very nice on this car. And now we're finally here at the business end of the 67 GTO. We've got the hood already open for you. As you can see, the underside of the hood here is in good condition. It's just painted black underneath here. You do have the correct insulation underneath here, and that's still in pretty good condition as well. Starting from front, working our way to the back here on the motor, you've got the factory style radiator here with the shroud, and I believe that was a 7-blade clutch fan that's in here for cooling. It's a little hard to see here probably on the camera, but you've got the original style windshield washer solvent bottle in here, mounted in there nicely. You've got a chrome air cleaner, chrome valve covers, the factory air conditioning. That's a big one on this car. Again, one of those options that makes this car a really nice buy for you. Again, all the hoses and everything are just as they would have been from the factory. GM hoses everywhere. The motor, again, this is that numbers matching YS coated block 400 cubic inch Pontiac motor. I believe back then they considered that a 335 horsepower motor. It's got the correct Quadrajet, that's a Rochester Quadrajet carburetor on there. It's got the correct heads on it. I believe those are the 670 heads. It's got the stock cast exhaust manifolds on it. It's got the original style ignition with a Delco Ramey coil back there. Again, just everything just as it would have been from the factory. Power brakes, power steering. It's even got an original looking battery cover in here. Now it's got a modern battery in it, but they've got the old school cover in here to give it that classic look. And again, everything's hooked up and functioning on this car as well.